As we all are fighting with COVID-19 and hope you all are in your home safe and healthy. So I'm looking at the current scenario. So I sent to you the link of PowerPoint presentations for your BSc 3 Inorganic Chemistry syllabus. Here now I'm going to record my lecture on the electronic spectra of transition metal complexes. The half of the lecture we have already done in the class. So I will hurriedly refresh it. So chapter's name is Electronic Spectra of Transition Metal Complexes. In order to understand the nature of electronic transitions in complexes of transition metals, let us study as to how the splitting of electronic energy levels and spectroscopic terms occurs in s, p, d and f orbitals. Here, just remember the shapes of these orbitals. You all know that s orbital is spherically symmetrical. So that means it is not affected by an octahedral field. On the other hand, p orbitals. P orbitals are directional. We know that px, py, pz, but they have same type of orientation. So that means they are affected by octahedral field, but they will be equally affected by the octahedral field. So that means their energy levels, they will remain same and no splitting occurs. Now come to the d orbitals. So d orbitals, we all know that they are 5. dx, y, dyz, dzx. They form one group which is called the T2G. T2G means T means triplet. Okay. So and the another group is dx square minus y square and dz square. So doublet Eg. And difference. So the difference between the two levels, it is tan dq or delta O. So that means here they split into two levels, T2G and the EG level. In this figure, splitting of spectroscopic terms arising from D1 electronic arrangement is shown here. You know the ground state for the D1 is 2D and the splitting is in case of octahedral it is D2G and EG. Here when the ion is free, this is when the octahedral field is applied and this is when the tetrahedral field is there. You know the difference is EG, T2G, here we have dropped G, Tirate is dropped here. It is E and T2. Center line, it is called the barycenter. Now the energy level, the T2G, it is 4 dq below the barycenter, while Eg, it is 6 dq above the barycenter. Let us understand the splitting of the d orbitals. So octahedral field splitting pattern. These are the 5d orbitals and they have been split into T2G and EG. Now you are very clear about the meanings of T2G and EG. The energy difference is tan dq or it is delta. It is called the crystal field splitting energy. The question which I want to arise here is why these T2G, that is dxy, dyz, dxz, they are at the lower energy level and that of the Eg, that is dx square minus y square and dz square at the high energy level. To answer this question, let us again study the shapes of the d orbitals. It is clear here that in dz square and in dx square minus y square orbitals, they lie on the same axis as the negative charges. They lie on the same axis. So therefore, there is a large interaction between the negatively charged ligands, which means they result in the repulsions. So that is why the energy become high. They are less stable. On the other hand, if we talk about dYz, dxz, dxy, in these cases, there is smaller repulsion between the metal and the ligand because the ligands they are now bisecting the negative charges. So repulsion is small between ligand and the metal. That is why they are at the lower energy and they are more stable. So now, in an octahedral field, the spectroscopic terms S and P states they do not split. D split into 2, F split into 3, G split into 4, and so on. So states split by the external field, they are called Mulliken symbols. These symbols are extensively used in interpreting electronic spectra of transition metal complexes. So how these Mulliken symbols they can be derived? They can be derived from the spectroscopic terms S, P, D, F and G. I'm showing here the example. For S, we know that L it is equal to 0. When L is equal to 0, number of components 2L plus 1, it will equal to 2 into 0 plus 1, it will become 1. This means S is singly degenerate and so here it is represented by A, 1G for the octahedral crystals. For P, we know that for P, L is equal to 1. The angular momentum, the resultant angular momentum, it is equal to 1. When L is equal to 1, how can we calculate number of components? 2L plus 1, 2 into 1 plus 1, 3. So it is stiffly generate. So that is why it is shown here by T1G. For D, L is equal to 2. When L is equal to 2, we have 5 number of components. If there are 5 number of components, that means 2 doubly generate, 1 is doubly generate and 1 is triply generate. So 3 plus 2 equal to 5. Similarly, we can derive for F, G, H and I. In case of the tetrahedral field, it is same except the G is dropped, the Gerade is dropped. We will simply have A1, T1, E plus T, A plus T plus T, T1 plus T2 like that. Now discuss the spectrochemical series for ligands. What is a spectrochemical series? It is the arrangement of ligands in the increasing order of ligand field splitting energy. It is usually represented by delta. So spectrochemical series as shown here, the ligands they are commonly classified by their donor and acceptor capabilities. For example, ammonia. Ammonia is sigma donor and ethylene diamine if we compare it with, it has stronger effect than ammonia generating a larger value of delta. This is also the order of their proton basicity. Now, if we compare that of the halides, here the halides are shown. Fluoride, it has more state than bromidine, chloride, and the iodine. So, fluoride, chloride, bromidine, and then the iodines. The small ligands, they cause crystal field splitting to greater extent. Why? Because they can approach the metal ions more closely. So we know that fluoride is small in size. So fluoride can approach the metal more closely and thus resulting in the greater crystal field splitting. As I told you earlier, the weak field ligands they give small delta value. Strong field ligands they give large delta value. So small field and weak field ligands, how we are classified them. Similarly, we have a spectrochemical series for metals. We can also arrange the metals according to the increasing value of delta. And here the factor is the oxidation state. Higher the oxidation state of metal ion, greater is the crystal field splitting. As you can show easily recognize here, mangan is 2 positive, nickel 2 positive, and as we move further, there is Fe3 positive. The oxidation state it increases.